So my story is called The Clubhouse, and just a little background story about myself. I grew up in a very small town, about 800 people, in a very sheltered home. I didn't know anything about porn or my parents didn't drink. We went to church every Sunday, so lots of basic kind of sneaking around and stuff was bad. So we didn't do that. Well, my sister and I did. We were always into trying to find the clubhouse in town, and if you find like an abandoned camper in town, every kid in town is on it. This is about when I was 4th or 5th grader, so probably old enough to know better, but I'm still doing it because it's a small town. There's nothing else going on. And so my sister and I, who's 2 years older than me, were driving around on our bikes and looking for a place to be our clubhouse, and we see this house, a person's house in the neighborhood with long grass. And we're like, oh, yeah, that looks like a good place. My 4th grade teacher's house is across the street. And so we're like, we better go in the back door. She might catch us. So my sister, who's 2 years older than me, also knows better. We are going in this house for the only reason that the door's unlocked in a small town. And the grass is long in a small town, which is, nobody does that. We don't know who lives here, so that should have been, that's enough reason to go in there because we don't know who lives in that house. So we walk in the door, and there's furniture in there, and there's a, kitchen, but there's no, like, pots or pans or plates or anything, but there's, like, a couch, and there's this giant pile of nudie mags. What is this? And so I understood for the first time what angel in centerfold meant, and the phrase carpet matches the curtains. So it's a whole new world to me. And my sister and I are like, well, again, growing up in a sheltered house, well, let's make it our own. Let's clean this place up. We take this giant pile of porn, and I'm not saying like giant pile, like, oh, it's 3 magazines. We took armfuls out, and we threw them in the backyard. Because that can't go in the front yard, not of our clubhouse. And so we've got this big pile of porn in the backyard, and we are rearranging the furniture, and we go there daily. This is not a one-day thing. We're going there after supper. This is in the summer, by the way. And so every time we can go there, we're sneaking off to the clubhouse. And one day we decide we should probably go in the basement, see what's going on down there. And so we go in the basement. We park our bikes in the back because we don't want my 4th grade teacher to know that we're there. And so our bikes are in the backyard. We go downstairs, and we notice that there's not really a lot going on down there. There's this weird white stuff on the wall. I don't know, to this day, I don't know if it was what you guys are thinking it is. Or if it was like mold or just like paint missing. I don't know what it was, but it was like a lumpy white mass. And so my sister and I are looking at it like, we should probably figure out something to do about that. That's not good for our clubhouse. And so we are down there inspecting this, and we hear footsteps upstairs. Oh my gosh, somebody's in our clubhouse. They found us out. So those other kids are going to take our cool place. They are pissed. They are yelling and, somebody's been here, what the hell, and blah, 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 and moving things around and thrashing. And so now my sister and I are, here's the white stuff, we're like this, up against the white stuff. We're like, oh my God, we're going to die here. This is horrible. Why are we in this clubhouse? And so we're shaking and trembling, and we can hear slamming, and there's bathrooms, and people are looking in all the rooms and like, oh, I can't believe this. And so anyway, we are down there petrified. We hear the door slam, the outside door, and it's quiet. My sister and I look at each other. We're like, okay, I don't know how we got out of the house. We flew over the blue carpet in the floor in the basement, up the steps, out the back, and we rode our bikes just down the street. Kept riding. We have no idea how we got out of that house. And the next day, because of course it's our clubhouse, we have to go check on things. We come back. The front of the house is spray painted in red. So they have a lot of pride in their house, I think, because they haven't mowed the lawn, but they spray paint because they care. Keep out private property. So we never went back to the clubhouse. And I think they knew that we were there. I don't know. But that's my story.